So, have a video appointment with Dr. Kirch coming up here, and this will be the first one that I've been able to connect in not sure exactly how long, a couple weeks, so possibly transitioning to CST, the community support team, for more to be able to receive more care for the services and everything, to meet with them and get more support for daily living and transitioning, and potentially relocating soon, but working out a plan, budgeting, figuring out how to improve the space to restore competency with my mom, who is still currently my legal guardian, and it's really important to be able to regain my rights and freedoms and be able to also regain my independence and interdependence, and work on being able to have a sustainable to recoup financially as well, be able to help with the money's getting a better life, getting support, repairing relationships that have been broken down over the course of all the turmoil and trauma, torture that we've all been through. Be able to be able to focus on healing for them as well, and be able to have healthier habits, break free from the alcohol addiction, which I've been making progress with, and that's just some of but we're taking baby steps and making strides, and sometimes we take steps back, and but overall trajectory, trying to redirect trajectory to be able to move forward and have a plan and have a strategy, and be able to come through with feeling unsafe, feeling that I don't have a home, and a lack of community and a lack of support, and struggling with risk of suicide, which I'm overcoming as well. I have learned so much over the process of all these experiences. I still have writer's block, and but everything's been at risk, and I have not been able to function as I can in other environments as I have in this apartment. So there are things I've been trying to figure out, and I'll need to write them down and document them, but I have felt very blocked from that. I felt also blocked from communicating, from following up, from being able to reconnect with people who reached out, who I wanted to connect with earlier, losing touch with him, and getting lost in my mind sometimes too, because I struggled with what I consider to be mental slavery, people corrupting my mind and trying to take control, and not only is it depriving me of a basic human right, but also form of slavery and psychological torture, which they are coming through as well. I have a very close bond and connection with them, and I'm able to understand them on a deeper level, and understand how they respond to different stimuli, and how that affect the animal crimes, bestiality, pornography, torture, and rape and murder of innocent animals has affected their well-being. And they almost, Lily Moptail and Miss Ying, they were almost having a seizure. Shaking uncontrollably, erratic behavior, showing signs of aggression, tearing paper up, decimating that pillow over there, pulling the stuffing out, and overall, they have saved my life. They are so therapeutic, and that's the reason why that they are my emotional support animal bunnies. In addition to being my babies, my fur babies, they are members of my family, and I've been at risk for them, for us. Well, for me dying, for them dying, they would not be able to survive either. Um, and so, like I said, they're members of my family, so I can't. I'd have to find a way to have more support, and I was denied and refused being able to have support with basic daily living, including having anybody come into the apartment to try to help. They will not even step foot in the apartment. My own mother struggles to be able to come in here, but ironically, I live with this on a daily basis. Not 24/7, but I have struggled ongoing trying to cope with the trauma and the torture and the neighbors verbally abusing us with death threats, with racism, sexual, derogatory, verbal abuse. And I know how it's affected not only my physical health and well-being, but also not only my mental health and psychologically, but also manifest physically, and has deprived me of essential sleep that's compounded. So not only does it affect energy level, research studies, it shows that people who are deprived of sleep and it compounds are more at risk for developing heart disease, as well as other very serious medical conditions, illnesses like cancer, like autoimmune. So this has had a ripple effect on everything and every of my life. Um, people are patronizing me for being an asshole. In addition to a wino, the name calling is not helping. It's a form of bullying, and that's causing more and more tension and inner conflict, and adding to the feeling persecuted and needing to be able to break free and have reprieve and be in a different environment and escape persecution. And that's very sad that anybody living anywhere on this planet, but certainly in America and in a community that has such good things as well. So I'm thankful that I have been able to maintain a level of stability and sanity that I didn't have before, because I have hit rock bottom, and I am still bipolar and schizoaffective, but labels aside, I am able to think and reason and finally be, finally be acquiring some support that I had been missing in critical times when I was severely at risk for committing suicide. The anger was becoming a rage, which was also becoming resentment, and what I could have been destructive to the community and destroyed so many lives and because of all the abuse, the mistreatment, the all of this, and also being at risk. So coming through all that, I'm grateful to say that I'm finally able to find my voice again. Obviously, I'm not trying to talk too much, but it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. After feeling so numb, disassociating, which I did with when I had my seizure disorder, non-epileptic psychogenic seizure disorder, but thankfully that's no longer am I suffering from that, but I have suffered in other ways, and so have they. And I want to make sure that people who care, who want to understand that the anger that I expressed was misdirected, and I am not a threat. I'm trying to help prevent hate crimes. I am trying to be able to help, rebuild things, but I also am needing to rebuild and have opportunities to have my livelihood, to be able to rebuild a career that I didn't have an equal opportunity to have here because of all of the mistreatment and abuse, people trying to prevent me from making a living, from being able to have a career, from being able to have opportunities that others were offered and also given so much support for. So I'm not going to go into too much more specifics right now because I'm trying to move forward and um, just want to reassure everyone, my close loved ones, and people who didn't turn on me have always been trustworthy and trusted, and also tried so much to help and not really understood why, as well as the people who haven't cared or who have have malintent, tried to do me harm. I want to make that clear that, that's one of the things about America and the justice system and the Constitution is that, try to be fair and balanced and handle things civilly. Think about the peaceful protests and how coming through all of the, in the South with all of the slavery there, and we know what that was a result of, which, there's still racism, and it's not just in the South, and it's not just, but when we get so blindsided by the experience, it's like being in the eye of the storm, and it's hard to see the light coming through, and remember that the rainbows will form when the sun shines through, however difficult and dark the storms. Category 5, whatever. Just an analogy from feeling that I've been in the eye of it, and it's so hard when you feel alone. But we have to remember that we're not. We go through these things. If you believe that you go through these things for a reason, then you'll be able to live a more fulfilled, meaningful life, and be able to know that your story, just as mine is vital, important, deserves to be heard, deserves to be told and shared. And that we go through these things, we can either learn from them and do our best to not give up, help each other not give up. I don't know how easy it is. We try so hard. I've tried to overcompensate, being strong. I'm very sensitive. I'm very delicate, fragile. We try so hard to put on a happy face. People who seem they have it all together on the outside. Some of them are crumbling inside and suffer the most. So, going forward, most importantly, is that we can be able to set aside these things, to be able to forgive. We don't forget. We handle things in a peaceful manner. We turn to peace from the inside out and be able to remember what's most important. That we are empowered. We have the power to be able to turn that hate back to love. Have perspective. Not be overcome and give in to temptations of jealousy, which is not real. And remember that what's real is we are real. Love is real. The creatures, the animals, the plants, they deserve to live. They deserve to live better. They deserve respect. They deserve support, just as I do, just as you do, on an equal level. And we're not going to be able to live in this world, pass it on to the next generations. We can't have responsibility and respect and be able to try to help live better lives and be able to make peace, not war, and be able to share this life as a journey. Remember that this is not social media, but we get caught in this virtual world. It's not a race. It's not beauty contest. Not a popularity contest. And that these things projected in social media, whatever, these assumptions, these labels, these judgments that we need to remember, and Dr. Kurtz would remind me, is that it's a matter of interpretation. It's just like art, we can say all kinds of bad things, degrade it, but it is what it is. And creation, all creation, what we create, what was created, including ourselves, are all works of art. So we can choose to be able to respect each other's art, to be able to interpret and appreciate, as opposed to judge and degrade. and criticize. So, but there are constructive criticisms, and we need to also remember not to take things personally. It's easy to do. It's a tendency. Jump to conclusions all the time. Take things personally. He looked at me funny. That he was blurring a horse. That can erupt into a volcano. Could become a war. That small ember that started out, spark ignited, became a whole firestorm. You know what that did to California. So let's not let that happen. Do all you can. Do you know how much it means just to smile at someone genuinely and say, I care about you, let them know, send a good vibes instead of bad. Be able to reach out to someone, be able to give someone. These little small acts of kindness, they add up too. Can prevent someone from committing suicide. Yourself included. So please remember that. I'll try to too.